All right, this is our first time doing this. I'm very, very excited. It's very early in the morning, and by that I mean about 8:30.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
It's Tuesday morning. We're at Roll the Page, 750 Comox Road in Courtney. I've got Mr. Dean Garrett, mortgage broker to the stars. How are you?
Yeah, I'm well, thanks. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. Good times. We decided that it would be a great idea to just sit down in front of the camera every week or so and just talk about what is going on in the financial world with mortgages and real estate, and see what lessons we can draw from it. So it's going to be a bit of news, but also some lifelong lessons, and it's going to be really quick. But Dean, what's going on? Is it a bit negative, Nelly news?
Well, I think anybody would agree that when it comes to news broadcasts, news headlines, whether it's on your phone, on TV, in other discussions, people focus on and are presented with negative energy all the time. They continually talk about things as if it's happening to everybody, and that's what I kind of, the juice of this is that I think there's another side to the news that people, it creates fear.
Yeah.
That's what I find, is it creates a lot of fear and unknown, and people get nervous, and then causes inaction when action might be the better choice.
Well, it's, you come to these, all the realtors, by the way, in the Comox Valley meet up on Tuesday mornings.
Pretty
so
much.
if you ever want to go out for a coffee and not feel like there's a realtor next door in the coffee shop, Tuesday mornings. But I remember, the news has been doom and gloom for a little while now. Yeah. But, we all meet up, and I remember Tom Hart, who's one of our bigger realtors here at Roll the Page. He said he's got a lot of buddies in the Toronto real estate market, and you just see such bad news coming from the Toronto real estate market. But he's like, well, actually, all of my buddies say they're having a really good year. And you actually hear these totally different stories that are not part of that algorithm. And I'm not saying the algorithm is bringing nothing good. I mean, they're probably getting some sinew of truth. But I think what we're bringing to you here is more of a broad sense of what's going on.
Yeah, to maybe provide a little more confidence in how things might work for the individual. I find in my business, we get into lots of conversations. We're always talking about people's finances, and these are long-term commitments. But it's also it's where you're going to live. It balances off against all the forces, and I find that my message really is about what is your economy, not what the Canadian economy.
Oh, I like that.
What the U.S. economy is, or what Trump did today. It's like in my work and working with my clients, it's about what's their economy? What is their cash flow like? Are they able to buy a home and build a retirement plan? All these kinds of things are not in the news.
Yeah.
And that's what we wanted to try to provide for people in an environment like this, is to say, no, there's more to the discussion.
Yeah. And you're right, because you're actually broadening the scope of what you look at. So we look at the financial markets. We have to. We look at what's going on in the state, in the world as a whole. We're actually drawing it closer to home, because here on Vancouver Island we've got a very specific and usually quite buoyant property market.
Yeah, people want to be here.
Yeah, they do. They always want to be here. But then, as you say, you're looking into like their economy and what's going on in their situation, because often that can have a huge effect, I imagine, to drive them forward.
It does, and fear creates inaction, right? And I think that's where it affects people's quality of lives, because what we're talking about is you have to live somewhere, and is your current environment working for you? And if not, what can you do to make changes and lead a better life, live a better life, right? Yeah. And it's leading yourself away from inaction to more understanding what you're capable of doing and what it would take, and planning. And I find that a lot of Canadians are not focused as much as maybe we should be on our cash flow. We live our lives, right? And we have lots of forces, especially with families, sports, everything. Right?
This is something, and this is one of the reasons actually I really like working with Dean, because he broadens it out Okay. Hey, so this is how you know we're not doing we're not editing to 2 seconds of our life. Something's happened to my phone. And we're just going to continue anyway. Yeah. There you go. Right, so this is one thing I love about Dean, because you imagine a mortgage broker, and if you haven't experienced a mortgage broker before, sometimes you can imagine it being like some droid behind a computer going, computer says no, computer says yes. Whereas you really are saying, this isn't just, here's the house you want, can you afford it? You are saying, let's look at how we can really help you financially and make a real plan for the next period of your life, which will include moving into a great house.
Right.
I mean, can you talk a bit more of that?
Yeah, well, it certainly takes planning. And I find, like you touched on there, William, is that the mortgage broker, and certainly I guess I have to speak more for what I do, because every mortgage broker is different from each other. We're all professionals, but as a bank of professionals, we are solution finders, whereas lenders, they are application processors, right? If you come to them and you want a mortgage, they're not going to have the time or the capacity, energy to really dive deeper into the conversation and understand.
And we're not calling them droids either, by the way.
No.
But
no, they're all great people. I mean, lenders are our partners in this business, right?
And I'm actually learning something here as well. So if you want to find out more about where you could be financially, you're not just going straight to this lender who is in the background like a hero trying to actually make the mechanics move. But someone like Dean, and there are a lot of great mortgage brokers out there. The industry is actually fantastic. A lot of my greatest friends are mortgage brokers these days. And you can meet with them and it's comfortable and just to kind of discuss the environment. And you don't need to be thinking about it, immediately.
This is where our industries cross so equally, is that we, like realtors, our relationships with our customers are long-term relationships. We're not just processing a loan application. We're understanding from the ground up and the future about how we can be a value to our customers long-term.
Yeah.
With the grandparents, yourselves and your children. Right?
I just imagine either my wife wants a new car or something like that, and I'm like, cool, Dean.
Yeah.
See, see if we can build it in, Right. I love it. So honestly, we could talk, me and Dean, we can talk for hours and hours. Yeah. We're not going to put you through that, but we're going to publish more of these, and it's just, honestly, they're completely unplanned. There's no notes in front of us whatsoever.
Yeah. We just want to share what we can do for people and how we do it, right?
100%. So we're going to try and jump on every week, every fortnight, and we're going to focus a little bit on the news, and as you say, and I love this phrase, make it evergreen. So actually draw the lessons out.
That bad news doesn't go away. That's all that there is reported. They very seldom are you going to be looking at updates to the world economy and find good news in it, right? So let's focus on your own economy and make your life great.
Yeah, and they do say, and this is like Jerry Springer's final thought. Do you remember that back in the day?
I didn't watch a lot of daytime TV, but if you go to Seinfeld, I got a lot of Seinfeld.
He gives a little final thought, and then he says, take care of yourself and each other. Yeah. Exactly. So our final thought, my final insightful genius thought that I've stolen from somewhere that I don't even remember. My final thought is that it's really, really easy to just spend your life looking for the next thing. But I find that really where it's happening is now. There's no other time ever than now. So there's no other time now for us to be having these discussions. And if you find these interesting...
Start the discussion.
Start the discussion.
You don't have to have a plan to do something in a month or 2 months. If you can recognize that a change is as good, a move is as good as a change, then let's get into the conversation and see what we can realize.
Dean Garrett, please give me your contact details.
Sure. Well, you can find me online. My handle in all of my social is Mortgage Minder. That's what I like to do for people, is mind people's mortgages. So it's mortgageminder.ca is my website, and as well as my handle on social. So
and he's on TikTok. I actually approached Dean about this because he's on TikTok so much, and it's really good for new stuff. So follow that.
Lots to talk about.
Yeah, lots to talk about. I'm Realtor William Stringer on all of the socials.
Right.
So thanks very much. We will see you again very, very soon. Cheers.
Great. Thanks.